Cool, cool, cool. We'll see if the stream works this time. Oh, this will be interesting. Oh, it's receiving content. It's receiving content. Yes. Yes. Excellent. Cool. Well, hello guys. This is Angus from Makers Muse, and it'll be a little while till you guys pop into the chat. But basically today I'm going to be fitting the Flexion Extruder to the Cocoon Create, otherwise known as the Wanhao Duplicator i3. So I featured the Flexion Extruder not too long ago in like an unboxing. This extruder is specifically designed to print flexible materials well. And as an example, I have this stuff here. That's like insanely flexible. That's like a noodle. And we're going to be fitting it to this machine. So I've already removed the Mark 10 extruder, which is in this box. And I mean, I'm not much of a fan of the Mark 10, to be honest. Let's see how the chat's going. Hey Stefan, how's it going? Yeah, so I'm not much of a fan of the Mark 10 extruder. It's okay, but for those guys who have Wanhao i3s, they do get a bit rubbish over time, and they're not very good at flexible materials unless you modify them quite a bit. And they have various other issues like heat transfer issues and whatever. They're okay. They work pretty good, but this is a step up. And just to show you how much of a step up it is, have a look at this. That's the Flexion. So this thing is like a hop-up for your printer. And it has a drive wheel which has like a cleaner brush to help clean dust out of the teeth in the extruded gear. Absolutely nuts. So I'm going to be fitting this to this. I have no idea how to do it. I've got the instructions up over here. And yeah, I'll see how we go. Oh, we got CJ in the house. How's it going, dude? I hope you can hear me okay. So I'm going to put this on the table. Put that flex over there. So I only have one webcam, unfortunately, so I'm trying to get an angle where you can see that and me. Right. So that's the main unit. Ah, no! That's the main unit right there. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's a precision CNC machine, bit of aluminium, or aluminum, and it's been anodized red. So definitely very neat looking. And also, fun fact, I lost the thermistor on my Cocoon Create. So 5 minutes before starting the stream, I realized that I didn't have it. So I pulled this one out of my older Wanhao i3. So Steve, if you're watching this, sorry, it may be a little while before I send that to you because I just ripped the thermistor out of it. I think it fell somewhere on the ground in my workshop, and if that happens, it's just gone. It will just be eaten by the floor gnomes in the workshop. Sweet. Yeah, so CJ's asking if the Flexion does regular filaments as well. It does. It's designed to do hard all the way to extremely flexible materials. So it's like a all-in-one solution. It doesn't have a spring. It actually has a cam-driven tension wheel, which is this thing. And that's designed to be set to different integrals, different, whatever the word is, segments to change the tension. So it's a discrete system. There's no spring. What else we got? We got some nozzles. So from what I understand, these are 0.3, 0.4, and 0.5, I believe. I may be wrong. And that's the hot end itself. So you can see there it has that sort of V groove cut into the Teflon sleeve. That's the secret sauce. That's what provides the complete guide all the way down from the top of the extruder and the feeder gear all the way down into the hot end, which is what you need for flexible materials. If you don't have if you have a gap, if you don't have a fully supported path, you'll get kinking, and that's what happens on the Mark 10s. So I'm not going to be looking too much at the chat, guys, because I kind of have to look here, but I will be looking over now and then. So I'm sorry if I missed your questions. This isn't really a Q&A stream. This is more of a assembly stream. Still a little bit sick. All right, I'm gonna get everything out of the box. I mean, that's such nice packaging. What else we got? A few washers and some Kapton. All right, done and done. So what's the first step? What do we got here? So I've removed the hot end already. That's ready to go. Removed my thermal sensor. So I need to start assembling the hot end. So I've got my new aluminium block, and that's what's going to sit. That's going to sit there to replace the old hot end. So it's saying put the barrel in like that, like so, and tighten the set screw. Oh, they've even put the set screw in already. So I've got all the tools here ready to go. If I need more tools, they're over there. So we'll see how we go. So I'm going to try to copy the instructions exactly. Yep. I will say I'm not a humongous fan of set screws holding in cylindrical objects, because at least in my experience in the Mark 10, when you try to unscrew the nozzle, you end up like marring where that set screw is. The whole barrel rotates, and you end up getting the thing jammed in place because it's made like a big jam in the softer aluminium. But I will forgive these guys because they have, I noticed, a little lip for the set screw, so that's not going to happen as badly. That's quite good. Just going to pop the chat out so I can see what you guys are saying. Excellent. Hey, Pano's in the house. We got Sparky as well. Awesome to see you guys. Okay. Right, we need to put the sensor in place. So these are the glass type. Someone's going to correct me in the chat. Is it a thermistor or a thermocouple? I'm pretty sure it's a thermistor, but please correct me. But they're glass, so you need to be so careful when you clamp them. So I'm just going to see if I can find the original screw, which has a little bit of fiber backing on the washer, and that's going to provide a little bit less of a harsh pressure, I suppose. Oh, no, I cannot remove that. It is one piece. Okay. Never mind then. I guess we're going to just clamp it. Oh, okay. No, that's good. It's actually, there's a small hole. I don't know if you can see that. There's a tiny hole where the temperature sensor goes in. So you're not putting pressure on the glass, which is good. That's a nice approach. Okay, put this one in. There also appears to be room for a threaded temperature sensor. So if you've got one of those kinds with an M3 thread, you can attach that easily. So they've allowed for multiple options, which is good. It is very fiddly. I do not want to break this because, as I said, I've already lost one of them. Oh, come on. There we go. And I need the right Allen key. Perfect. Okay, so I'm not going to put too much pressure on it. It's just a temperature sensor. You don't have to manhandle it. Like that. Yeah, Panerath's saying I should get my logo done by Travis. I need to talk to him more. He is an awesome dude. And we may be doing that in the future because his logos to life projects are amazing. Absolutely cool. I'm not sure on the cost. It's about 120 US for the hot end, for the Flexion, but you need to double check that. Just go to Flexion's website. Right, so we've got that, and we now need to install the heater. Right, so there's a little brass shim there because there was an issue with early Wanhaos where the temperature tube was too small, and there's classic Chinese machines. There's a lot of machines using 6mm heaters and a lot of machines using 1/4 inch heaters, which is about 6.35 millimeters, which is a significant difference if you're trying to transfer temperatures. So let's see if this one actually fits into that without the shim. No, well, okay, I think it will fit into the shim if I, no, it does not like the shim. Okay, I'll get rid of that. Okay, so that's the shim. So if you got a 6mm heater, use that, but I'm pretty sure Wanhao's 1/4 inch. And make sure I'm throwing it through the right way. It's very difficult to know. No, I'm not. I want to go through the other way, like that. Because the hot end sits kind of there, I think. I could be doing this backwards. I mean, again, I'm a bit of a noob sometimes. Yeah, I've done it like upside down. Okay, just whip this one out. And put it back in that way. So when it clamps, how is the best way to do it? I'm trying to follow the pictures, but they're a little bit unclear. Okay, so we got the, all right. Bear with me. It is Sunday. Right, there's like probably 8 different orientations it could go, and only one of them works, which is this way. So that sits in there, like that. Excellent, okay, back on track, and put the heater back in. So with the heaters, you want to make sure you sort of get the middle area of them, sort of like that. This one's extending out, but that's generally where the heat is concentrated in the centers. So that's good, and I'll tighten that up. It's a really nice way of clamping a heater. If you have just a set screw into a heater, you're going to get really bad thermal transfers, but because this is split, it's crushing around the heater uniformly, which means it's going to be really good for temperature transfer. Like that, okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the Z-Brace mod. I'm actually looking at, yeah, Jimmy's saying about the Z-Brace mod for the Wanhaos. I'm actually looking at getting some laser cut pieces to go from this point to this point. So bend it here, down triangulate, and bend it in here. So maybe 3mm or 2mm stainless steel. I don't really want to 3D print bits and add to it because it's, I mean, it doesn't look right in my opinion. I want to add more sheet metal if I'm going to modify it. But I even thought, I mean, if you're adding Z-Brace mods, you could potentially use tension. So you could use like a cable on each corner. It'd be hard to calibrate it, but if you have tension on all 4 corners, I think that would probably help as well. Just something I've been musing about here on Makers Muse. Right, what's the next step? Okay, we need to get the stepper motor. Uh-oh. Where's the stepper motor? Classic Angus. I think it's over here. Right. That was a close call. Almost forgot where this was. So I'll remove this one. Right. So this is the Wanhao stepper. So it's just a standard NEMA 17. It's one of the shorter style ones, so it's not hugely long, but it seems to work okay. So in terms of attaching, Pano's like, stepper motors are very helpful when assembling extruders. Yeah, they are pretty handy. And so there's this insulating foam, insulating tape as well. So before I tighten this down, I'm going to add to that. I'm kind of jumping around the instructions, but I'm just assembling it how I want to, I suppose. You know, I never really read manuals very well. So I have to work out the orientation of the stepper. It sits upside down with the power plug, the input plug at the bottom. And this is the Flexion Extruder. So how does this work? I have not even had time to look at how this goes together, so this is quite fun. Okay, so it sits like that. Oh, such a weird extruder. Really, really odd. How does that even... What? What? Okay. So there's a little, like, hinge point there, which screws into the stepper motor. Right, so I'll tighten that up. Okay. And then what? Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, so what they're doing is they're hinging it on the step motor itself, which a lot of other ones do, but they're actually using the discrete tension adjustment wheel, which is like an eccentric board cam, I suppose. They're putting that there so you can adjust tension by rotating that. So there's no spring. If you're coming in late here, there's no springs in the Flexion Extruder. It's just set, your tension's set with this adjustment wheel, and you only have 4 discrete settings. So, okay. Interesting, interesting. So install components to the motor. So these 2 screws are different. I don't know if that matters. They both seem to do the same thing. I'm just going to pop this one out again. One's a little bit shorter than the other. But yeah. Okay, so that one extends that far. Right through the wheel. Yeah, they both seem to do the same thing. Just one extends a little bit further. The Flexion guys are going to watch this and they'll just be like face palming. Like, why did we send this to Angus? Okay, that's good. So I'm going to go with that one for this one and this one for this one. It kind of feels like, I don't know if any of you guys used to or still do build remote control cars. Like if you build the professional level remote control car kits, you get these hop-up parts, and they're always traditionally, amazingly anodized and beautifully machined parts. And you really feel like a sense of pride when you're upgrading your machine with these hop-up parts. That's what this feels like. This is a hop-up part for a 3D printer. There's no doubt about it. That's just what it is. And so that's how the tension wheel works. You rotate it and it kind of lifts it to different levels. Very cool. Okay. And then you've got the pinch wheel. So this extruder gear is actually pretty interesting. It's going to be way hard to see on the camera. It's not going to be in focus at all. But it's got a very small, knurled, or actually machined, it's hard to tell, tooth profile, like very, very fine, compared to the traditional Wanhao one, which is this really, really coarse spur gear style extruder gear, which works well for hard plastics, but I can imagine they've gone with this fine one to make it work well with more flexible materials. And that's probably why they need the cleaner gear with the little brushes to sort of clean it out. So let's fit that one in as well. And do that up. Again, I'm just doing this probably completely out of sequence, just because I can. We always go back. Like with the Trinus build, I just kind of winged it and then went back. And when I rebuilt the Trinus, when I got back to Sydney, it took 20 minutes or something, which is just nuts. But the first time's always the longest. Cool. So you can see how when the extruder's going to turn, that little wheel is going to come in and brush away any filament debris. Very neat. It's a really unusual extruder design. Really strange. Definitely props for that. Okay, what else? Anthony's saying, is the audio gone? Can you guys still hear me? It should still be working. Yeah, Luke's saying he was on 144p. That is my life. I like... The amount of times that YouTube sends me to 144p is just ridiculous. Like, we're in Australia, and that's what YouTube suggests. It's like watching Minecraft. Cool. All right, well, Bryce can hear me, so that means it's coming through the stream, which is good. Okay, so I need to apply this thermal tape to it, which is going to be a little bit tricky. So how does this work? Slice that off. So many knives, I don't know which one to choose. Okay. What? Why is it telling me to do that now after attaching them together? Oh, 4B. Okay. So the instructions themselves jump around a little bit as well. It's telling me if you're using a cooling fan, which of course I will be, then you need to apply the insulating tape first. So I'll just pop that off. It's interesting, this looks like Kapton with a ceramic or probably glass fiber tape, and they've laser cut it, which is cool. I didn't know you could actually do that. So they've actually laser cut the Kapton. Doesn't smell. Probably shouldn't have done that. So how does it go on? We've got the 2 screws at the bottom, so it's clearance for that. Need to pop the nozzle off. Oh no, I might need a wrench for that. Oh, it comes with a wrench. Derp. Comes with a few little cute wrenches, like the IKEA style ones. So it's cool. It comes with four nozzles. I mean, that's pretty beefy. You're going to be printing for a long time to smash through 4 nozzles. So fit it like that, and then put the nozzle back in. And it's even stamped. Was it? No. Is it stamped with the size? Yes. Yes, it is. So yeah. Okay. The kit comes with a 0.2 mil nozzle, a 0.4, which is the one I want to use, 0.3, and 0.5. 0.2 millimeters. I'm going to have to try that out soon enough. But for now, we're going to go with a 0.4. I really don't like handling ceramic or fiber tapes. You wonder if they're actually asbestos. I mean, this one wouldn't be, but some of the Chinese kits that come with this tape wrapped around it, you just wonder. It's probably asbestos. There was actually a huge recall a while ago with little remote-controlled cars that had asbestos brakes. And then there was a huge recall of the Great Wall 4-wheel drives that had asbestos brakes. So it does happen. Cool. And then I need to whip... How? What? There's a certain sequence it all has to be done. Alright, so the nozzle has to go on after I put the top bit in. Right, so that goes through there. Or no, it won't even let me go through there. I have to unscrew it. Alright, well let's unscrew it then. Put that there. Screw it back in. This is so fiddly to do. And then wrap it around and put the nozzle in. Alright, now I know how to do it. That's going to be easier next time. But that was a little bit embarrassing. Asbestos for the win. Cool. That one through the top. So, I'm assuming... Oh, you can just rotate the Teflon. Okay, that's fine. Never mind. Don't mind me, I'm just rambling. Okay, looks fine. So, I probably shouldn't have cut that little bit of Kapton because you can use it to join it on. So, I'll just peel that bad boy off. So I can't be bothered finding my roll of Kapton because I have no idea where it is. Okay. Cool. A little bit less pretty now, but should work. And we'll... Oh, why is that loose? No, that's fine. Oh god, I hate moving the cables around because every time you do, you risk fatiguing them. You kind of have to put it in place. Right, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So it's 100. So the Flexion's 125 US plus shipping. So that means it's $170 Australian. The Australian dollar is just, you know, rest in peace Australian dollar basically. It's just so bad. But we had a good run. Cool. So that's that. And what else? I just need to put the motor on, I think. Okay, so it's suggesting prepare the motor, remove the drive assembly, already done. Thread one of the shoulder screws into the stepper motor. So it says one of the shoulder screws. They were different lengths, but I don't think it actually matters. And if it seats on the face of the motor, go to step 9. Okay, so yes, it does. So these are, it has 2 extra washers, and I think what it's saying is because these stepper motor screws extend to the front, if they interfere with those front screws and it doesn't sit right down, you can use these to offset it a little bit. Or does it actually, is it actually going in the way? It's hard to tell. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's tight. I can double check it though. Get a screwdriver. It's not gonna work. Oh, my kingdom for a screwdriver. There we go. Cool. So I'll just whip this screw out and see if that makes any difference. No. No, it's fine. All good. Okay. What's going on? Mute 666. Yeah. Goodbye 666. You're gonna... How do I mute you? Yeah, he's gone. Oh dear. Whatever. Pay no heed to them. So... basically that just sits in like that. So it's a bit hard to see with the camera angle. But... how can I show you without breaking anything? I'll just pop that off. So it sits together like that, basically. And it gives it a fully supported path all the way down. Okay, I'm going to make... unlikely creators, you're now a mod. Have fun. There you go. I trust you, dude. You're an awesome guy. So I'm going to fit this in to the extruder, like so. I don't have any minions this week as well, unfortunately. So it fits like that, and we can just put it into place, basically. I'll have to put the heated block back in, but that's easy. Right, where are my little screws? So, I'm going to put it back into place. I will have to raise the gantry up. Wanhao i3 users, you may want to look away now. You didn't see that. Okay. So this fits in. And it's alright, Kevin. Kevin's worried I'm going to break it. It won't break. It just might need some realignment afterwards. The things I do to my 3D printers, you know, they're pretty tough. That's good. That's good. Okay, that can go back in. I'll retension that screw. Okay, I'll give CJ mod. There you go. I almost just put you in timeout, but you're a mod now. Sorry about that. It would have been a bit of a disaster if I put you in timeout. Okay, that looks good. The heat tube still isn't fully tensioned, and I think it's because it's the undersize 1/4 size one, so I'm going to have to get some aluminium foil and put it around it. I'm not going to do that right now because stream, but it's still a little bit, it's not completely tight, even though I've tightened the set screw up as much as I can. That's the marvels of Chinese manufacturing, isn't it? Right, so I just need my long screws, which are these ones. So for those guys who came in late, this is the guts of the Mark 10, which I will probably repurpose for something else. But for now, it's done its dash, and the Mark 10 isn't too bad, but it's not the best, in my opinion. Right, what else? Right, then we need to fit our... How did I even do that? I just like hurled the heatsink across the room. Alright, got the heatsink and... Where's my fan gone? Oh god. Alright, so now I need to attach the heatsink and the old fan back in place. I think that's the right fan. Oh jeez, CJ. Although you have loved ones, all can be taken away. Oh, that went to your head fast, dude. Oh man, that is pretty funny. I'm just dropping everything. So this is the most fiddly part of assembling these extruders, are these damn little offset things, these little spaces. And you know, you're always trying to hold them in place while you put the screws in, you're trying to balance them. It's just such a pain. Why can't they just make it easier? But I suppose it's cheaper to use whatever's off the shelf than manufacture custom parts, which is why they do it. I'm just talking to myself. And I'm going to fit the fan to the extruder, which should be fairly straightforward, provided I haven't done anything horribly wrong. What else we got? Yeah, Luke's saying he was planning to upgrade the Mark 7 to a Mark 10. Look, it's not like there are really much of a linear progression in terms of like a Mark 10 is better than a Mark 7. Like a lot of machines still use Mark 8 extruders, and they all have their benefits and they all have their, you know, bad things. If it works, it works, but this should be better for flexibles because I just always struggle with flexible materials. And this is, of course, the fun part where you're trying to line up two screws with just everything in the way, and you don't know why the last one's not going in. So you push harder, and you're probably going to strip something. Why is that even in? Yes, no. Feels like it should be. This is probably going to be the rest of the stream, me trying to get these two bolts in. I mean, I've spent like probably hours of my life doing this on various machines. You just try to align them, and then one's in, but then the other's not, and blah, blah, blah. There we go. Murphy's Law. As soon as I said it's going to take ages, they went in. Right. So I don't know if you can see that easily. But all the beauty of the Flexion extruder is kind of now covered up by a big fat fan, which is is what it is, I suppose. And you can see how that wheel works. It sort of rotates around and goes to different tensions. So that's probably the furthest away. Closer, closer. It's pretty cool. Right, and oh, bonus step. There's a bonus step. Upper PTFE. So this is the upper PTFE, and it says it's optional, but I would say it's pretty handy. So it's for aligning rigid materials. Cool, okay. So I suppose that just goes in there. Like that, I guess. Right. And we've got our fan. So plug him in. There is other fan. This is super confusing. Right, we've got a limit switch. I'm really careful about, like, there's been a lot of fire reports about the i3s because this plug has no current limit or anything like that. Like, I think it's on the same rail as the bed. So I'm very dubious as to that actually being safe to use. Pop them out. I don't know why they didn't use proper plugs. It's just really quite dodgy. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do the whole Wanhao 3 and wrap it around a few times. Have you seen that in the factory? They wrap it around so it's not as long, around metal. I really don't like doing that. I really should fix this. It's too short. One less turn. Whatever. Yeah, in terms of these machines catching fire, it does happen. It really does. You need to be so careful with them. Right, put that motor thing in. Maybe putting the plug on the bottom was not the best idea, even though that's how it comes. No, it works. And we've got our thermistor, which is still in place. Just. Oh, great. So the thermistor doesn't even bloody reach. Why not? Do it behind. Come on. This is horrible. This is the worst cable management ever. You just forget how bad it is till you actually have to work on it. I mean, that's just gonna break. That's just gonna break. If it hasn't already broken. I'm really not happy with that. Right. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna readjust this thermistor because it's kind of too short to reach, and I don't want to break it because I only have one. Oh dear. There should be hundreds of Makers Muses on Instagram. There should just be one, which is me. Oh, this is terribly fiddly. Oh my god. It's painful. It's a stainless steel screw as well, so it's not even magnetic, so I can't even use a magnet to help me hold it in place. Stay in your hole. Right. That looks good. But again, I can't work out how to get this plug in. I mean, let's see if I can show you guys. Like, that's how far it comes up, and like, that's how far the Mr. Wire comes down. It's just not long enough. It's just too short. It's just, there's no room for error. It's crap. This is not Flexion's fault at all. This is just the Wanhao. I don't want to pull on it though. This is Wanhao being Wanhao. You know, let's shave 10 millimeters off our wires, so then every 1,000 printers we make, we'll have a little bit extra left over. There, that's so dodgy. I'm not happy with that. And then again, look, that one's stupid long, so you need to wrap it around a few times. That's our cooling fan, so we need that for printing PLA and also flexible materials. Again, I probably should upgrade that, the stock cooling fan is pretty terrible. A lot of people end up printing out like the Cobra cooling thing. It looks pretty funky. It looks a bit form over function in my opinion. To be honest, I usually just have a fan next to it and blow air onto it. That seems to work pretty good. So I'm going to do the whole offset trick. So it's out one space like that. I'll just use whatever. This random countersunk. That one doesn't work. That one doesn't work. This one. This one does work. Not that's going to help, but whatever. Yes, today is Mother's Day, so I totally understand, guys, if you're celebrating it with your mum. We did something lovely yesterday, and we'll probably do something today later. But right now, I have time to do things like this. So that's awful, and I'm not happy with that wiring at all. But it is what it is. I'm going to try plugging it in and see what happens. Let's give it a shot, hey? So let's pull these bad boys in a box. Where's the Flexion box? So I don't lose them. I mean, I don't want to speak too soon, but that was pretty painless for a extruder fit out. I'm still reviewing the BPS extruder, which is an Australian-made one. The reason it's taken so long is there's no standard mounting hole. This is the Flexion kit designed for the Wanhao i3 or i3 kits to replace Mark 10 extruders, so it fits. It's a bolt-in replacement. The BPS isn't. Anyway, so let's get a cable. Might need a power lead a bit longer than that. It's a bit short. Let's grab... Loop. Right. Okay. Alright, well, now we're going to find out if it blows up or not. Okay. Well, the fans are spinning. That's a good sign. I can show you. You can't see the... Oh, you can't see that thing, but it's there. So let's go quick settings, preheat to PLA mode. Right. It's warming up. Good sign. Very good sign. The bed's heating up too, which I don't really want, but whatever. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. No, CJ, I didn't see your joke. I was too busy getting annoyed at wires. So JTTV, what I was saying is this is a bolt-in replacement for Mark 10 extruders. So the Flexion, this is the Flexion kit for Mark 10 extruders. I have another extruder called the BPS extruder. I'll show you actually quickly. It's this one here. This is the BPS extruder, which is an awesome machined aluminium extruder with, it's not all metal, there's a Teflon sleeve, but it is a really nicely supported extruder. But it's a non-standard mounting hole thing. It's got 4 mounting holes on the back of it. So, I mean, it mounts like that, whereas all of these Mark 10 extruders mount via a bottom plate. So I need a different adapter to mount it, and it needs a bit of machining work to do it, and I haven't had time. So this is a really nice extruder, and I'll be reviewing it soon, but the Flexion is designed to bolt in to the Mark 10 extruders, like the Wanhao i3 Cocoon Create. See all my horrible 3D printing habits live. Yep, I'm just like everyone else. Jed's asking, will you do a dual head printer upgrade on one of your printers Maybe. I tend to think dual extruders are a little bit of a gimmick because you need to have both nozzles perfectly level, and it's really difficult to get that done, especially because they expand when they heat up. You know, metal contracts and expands with temperature. So getting two perfectly level and aligned, and then actually getting something practical off them instead of just gimmicky two-color prints is kind of dubious. I have done dual material prints on a FlashForge Dreamer to print TPU, which is a flexible material, which did work because it was a harder flexible material, with ABS as support material, and that worked really well. But that's the only case I've ever used a dual head machine for a practical purpose. I just totally stuck my finger in that fan. And I'm just going to get some PLA and see how it extrudes. I'm going to be really sad when this roll of pink runs out. It's been really good. Just use a 1mm nozzle with dual color. That's just going to end up in... Yeah, it's going to be a disaster. Okay, I'm going to cut this cleanly actually, so... That was a bit dodgy, just snapping it off. Right. So, feed it in. Can't seem to... There we go. And I'm going to just try doing an extrude. The navigation for this machine is pretty poor. I really don't like the touch wheel. Well, it's not extruding. It's not a great sign. Okay, let's try turning the wheel to that. Oh, now it's extruding. So 1 wasn't good. I'm on 4 now, which is the lightest. Going in. It's going somewhere. I don't know. Parallel dimension, maybe? There we go. It's very quiet. It has a sort of crunchy sound, which I assume is the wheel. Okay. So 4 seems to have not very much pressure. So I'm going to try 3. Actually, let's try 2. Let's just go all the way up to 2. There is a set screw as well, which I assume is for adjusting the tension even more precisely. Okay, 2 seems pretty good. 2 seems pretty nice. Cool. Yeah, it's extruding. Lucas just said X-Acto blade ABS supports plus accident equals bloody hand and sliced blood vessel. Oh, jeez. Like, the amount of injuries I have seen with people using those scraper blades is just horrifying. Especially school teachers. Not to pick on school teachers. They're stressed. They're busy. They're trying to get prints off their printers. They'll, like, hack at their prints, especially off the ups, because you have the raft, and they'll just stab themselves with those blades. And I've seen teachers just band-aids everywhere just because they do it all the time. It's awful. So, yeah, be very careful using these tools. I mean... You know, it's so easy to injure yourself. It's a split-second thing. I mean, right now, that's at 100, that's at 200 degrees, that's at 60 degrees, and, you know, I can touch that comfortably, but that would burn me instantly like a soldering iron. CJ's like, hey Pyro, a little update on what's happening, I am a demigod now. Okay, where is my zebra plates? It is here. It is over here. So I've still got it calibrated for the zebra plate. And I just need my... Tell I'm totally organized. I just need my... What's it? Bulldog clips. They're the ones. I mean, do you guys want to see a print, or do you want to just do more QA? It may not print. It's just, I don't know. Let me know. If you want to see a print, I gotta go get the Bulldog clips to hold the zebra plate in place. Just in the meantime though, OpenCED's asking what's my favorite brand of PLA. At the moment, eSun works pretty good, but it's really whatever I have on hand. Most PLAs these days work fine, in my opinion. Just, it's been a very long time since I've come across like rubbish PLA. I found the Aurorum stuff gets quite brittle very quickly. This roll's been open for like a year and it's fine. And I found stuff like 3D Fuel is amazing quality, but it's just very expensive. Print then QA. Okay, well, I'm going to get the Bulldog clips, so... CJ, you can entertain them for 2 seconds. Ta-da! Alright, so let's whack this plate in place. Oop. Wow. I think I accidentally shorted the bed just then, short with the Bulldog clip, but it's okay. No harm done, no harm, no foul. Good, okay. Let's find something to print. Let's print... vase is pretty boring. It's quick though. Cat's too long. Too long. I'll do a vase. Sorry. It's quick. You didn't see that either. So CED's asking what material do I have on the build plate. I just stuck my zebra plate back on. So this is a really thick, durable print surface I reviewed about 2 weeks ago. It's actually pretty good. I use it for PLA, so it does work for ABS, but only to a certain size. I found that you really can't print ABS on the Wanhao i3. It just... What happened? What was that? Have I misaligned it? That was either the Z or the X that just died horribly. I don't know which one. Yeah, Z is not happy. Alright, that's okay. What the F? I think I've jammed up the Z by moving it. I have no idea what happened. There you go. That's the first time I've ever seen that. Kevin's like, this is what you get for pulling the Z up like crazy. But it's working okay. What was that? Maybe I didn't home it first? Maybe? Hit the triggers on the side. I don't think so. Nothing was pressed. Meg. Oh dearie me. The joys of live streaming. Although I probably would have left that in if I was doing this for like editing. I probably would have just left that bit in because that was just funny. Okay, well it's homed. I didn't seem to have any problems there. Let it warm up again to print my vase. Excellent. Yeah, Axel's commenting on the speed of the x-axis, sorry, the z-axis. That's just how it homes. It homes really slowly because it doesn't want to overshoot when it hits the limit switch. It doesn't know if it's up here or down there, so it has to go slowly. It is pretty annoying. Yeah, it means it's more accurate. You get the printer to eat through the build plate, make the Z think it's in all sorts of other places. Yeah. I probably will realign the Z-axis myself later. But, yeah, oh well. That was fine. Yeah, I think it must have just been slightly jammed when I had it in Z. When I moved the Z up. So, yeah, I'd say it's my fault. What are you doing? Don't hit the bulldog clip. Oh, it cleared the bulldog clip by like 0.5 millimeter. Don't you dare. There we go. Oh, the bed's a bit too close. I was adjusted on the fly. This is the Don't Do What Angus Does channel, where I do things that you shouldn't see. When printers go wild. Bryce is asking, is it ball screws or lead screws? This is 100% lead screws, dude. There is no way a machine in this price point would have ball screws. Ball screws are far better, they're faster, more accurate, less friction, but they're much more expensive. So, I mean, this machine was only $500 from Aldi, and you're going to have to spend probably about $3,000 to start seeing ball screws in a 3D printer. They're not cheap. They're really good, but you just can't make them cheap. Even Chinese ball screws. Neat Geek 2001, I will notice you. There you go. What else we got? Ninja Flex is a bitch. That's why I need a Flexion Extruder. I mean, yeah, Ninja Flex is extremely difficult to print. This is what Flexion sent me to try. Look at that. It's just noodle. It's like wet noodle. It's like just pasta. So this is probably, I don't know, what, 60 shore hardness A? 60A? Or something like that. It's crazy. Or 60D. I don't know how the shore hardnesses work in that regard. But it seems to work okay. I'm only printing PLA. This is just eSun brand pink PLA. And I have the Flexion set at 2, which is the second hardest. 1 seemed to be too hard. It was causing the extruder to click. And there is a little set screw to change that, adjust that further. But there is no springs in this extruder. It is all mechanical with just a discrete dial. I might play in a different stream, not now. So Siad's asking, how hard is it to clean a Ninja Flex print? So when you're printing a Ninja Flex, support materials in general don't pull away. You need to cut them off or rip them off, I suppose. They don't really break off like a PLA or ABS print would. And you're often going to get dags and stringing unless you have a really, really good setting and you're printing really well, which is what this is designed to do, but I haven't tested it yet to do that. So yeah, cleaning rubberized prints is really hard. You have to just cut bits off, basically. You can't really do anything else. You can't smooth them with chemicals or anything like that. You can't sand them, especially can't sand rubber. No way. So Evan's asking, how do you suggest finding the correct temp to print each filament? So I have a Cocoon PLA that likes 205 degrees, but Blueprinted one likes 215 degrees. To be honest, like you would have found, trial and error. I tend to print 20mm cubes, and I will go with the recommended setting on the box. Most suppliers have a range. I usually choose the middle of it, so if it says 190 to 220, I might do 210, something like that, and then just see how that rolls. And if it works well, then you're good. But if you're finding it's a bit too droopy, or it's a bit too, the layers aren't bonded nicely, or when it doesn't infill fast, if you find that infill is not filling very well, your temperatures are probably too low, or your flow rates may be too low as well. So I just recently tested out the Filamentive recycled PET. I'm going to do a video on that soon. And I went through like 3 or 4 test cubes to get it printing right, which took ages, and then I went to a bigger print, and then it kind of was okay. But yeah, it's not going to be the best review for that filament, unfortunately, because it just did not print well. It was not very good. Oh, so Neat Geek, I stream at this time every week. So at 12 o'clock PM Australian Eastern Standard Time, that's my time zone, that's when I stream. And I do some during the week as well, but I'm trying to make it so I can schedule them so you can see when I'm going to do it, but I had some issues with YouTube where if I scheduled it, I couldn't get into my scheduled stream, so I kind of just have to make them when I'm ready to go, which seems to work alright. But they get recorded, so you can always come back and see them later. Have you just started getting audio desync? Yeah, it's probably my internet dongle doing very badly. And my girlfriend's calling me. Hello. Hello, I'm streaming now. Would you like to say anything to the adoring fans?
Why you do this to me?
Say hello.
Hi.
Yeah, I do. I'll call you back afterwards. Thank you. Bye. There you go. That's my minion, who is currently not here, and completely forgot that I stream at this time. She is Lady Muse. I'll let her know afterwards that the chat says hi. Yes, I do have a girlfriend and a 3D printer. I mean, I know the China's campaign indicated that you have to choose between the two, but the two can coexist. I mean, there's a little bit of friction when you're spending late nights with the printer, but it's the deal. She knows the deal. Jed is asking, have I seen the Cherry printer? I have. I've started printing parts out for it. I am definitely going to try making the Cherry printer. For those who don't know, it's an extremely low-cost printer design using little cheap step motors, so not the standard NEMA 17 motors, but much cheaper ones. And yeah, I'm going to see how that goes. I'm going to move the microphone a little bit further away from the printer. Yeah, I'm going to move the camera back now, so it's going to be a little bit easier for you guys. I really need like a camera guy or a camera person. There we go. How's that? Luke, not true. Basically, the NEMA 17 is that size. NEMA 23 is a little bit larger, and the Fabricator Mini has a NEMA 8, I believe. 8 or 11. I think it's 8. It's extremely tiny. So 17 is by far the most common size. 23 is more for CNC. You're not going to see a 23 size stepper on a printer like this. It's just too overkill. And then you start getting into like NEMA 32, which is for big CNC equipment, CNC routers, that kind of thing. NEMA 23,000, be like that big. I think stepper motors have a limited usefulness beyond a certain size. You start needing to use servo motors, so like really big, beefy, brushed or brushless servo motors. I think that's more useful when you get to certain sizes. Yeah, Kevin's saying I should get multiple cameras. I would love to have I mean, I've got multiple DSLRs I use for filming normally, but in terms of budget, I can only afford one webcam at the moment. Yeah, so what do you reckon? It's just doing the fill at the moment. It's a little bit uneven because the bed wasn't perfectly level, or my Z-axis is not level after treating it somewhat badly, but it seems to be printing pretty well. You can see the little brushed wheel turning. Yeah, not bad. I mean, how often do you get an extruder that you upgrade and get printing within an hour? Not very often. Neat Geek saying he loves streams where there's only like sub 200 people. I try to sit in on the WAN show streams for Linus Tech Tips, and there is like thousands of people, and you just see the chat going like just completely unreadable, and he just ignores it, which sucks. I mean, it'd be nice to have a bit of interaction, but he just can't handle it. I am printing that. So Heather's asking what color am I printing? I'm printing pink eSun PLA. And I'm printing the standard vase that comes on the Cocoon Creates SD card, because it's a nice quick print. So Lucas is asking, how wide is the carriage? How much space would you lose for dual X carriages? You only get about 200 in X on the Wanhao i3, so you would lose... I'd say you'd lose at least 60 millimeters of that. So that's a significant portion of your 200 millimeter. I wouldn't do that. If you're going to do dual extruders on a machine like that, you might want to change to a Bowden setup where you can get them more compact, and then you may as well fit something like a diamond hot end. But for this, I wouldn't. You'd lose too much space, too much real estate. I can only do so many shout out guys. I gotta give Crafted102 a shout out. So there you go, dude. I can't be expected to see every time you type something. So Jimmy's asking, what are your thoughts on glass bed or build tack, I assume, on the Wanhao? Everyone's moving to glass beds, and then I see lots of people posting problems they're having with glass beds. So, to be honest, this is completely my opinion. I don't use them. I don't use glass beds. They are completely dead flat. It's the only way to get a dead flat surface. But I just personally print on build tack or fake build tack or blue tape, or back in the old days, Kapton tape. I don't print on glass with hairspray or anything like that. I've only just started to use some glue stick on some hard to print parts, like, you know, support material that was falling off the build tack. Glue stick does help, but I don't use glass. Yeah, it's just something I'd never done and I've never had to do. But yeah. Oh, Bryce, yeah, I saw your email and I haven't gotten back to you yet. I will get back to you, dude. Sorry about that. I just get so many emails a day. It takes me a couple of days to even, you know, sometimes even 2 weeks to reply to them, just because it takes so long. And yes, Sim Paradox, I got your email this morning. I haven't tried the BCN 3D Sigma myself, but Joel over at 3D Printing Nerd has. He's tested one out, so definitely check out his channel if you want to check out a preview of what it looks like. It looks pretty cool. I mean, the whole mechanism for the dual heads parking themselves looks awesome. I haven't used it. Apparently, slicing files for it can be difficult, but you're weighing it up against the up box, and I think personally for utility, the up box is the way to go, because it just prints ABS and PLA like beautifully. One head, that's all it does. Support breaks away, but it works. Whereas I think the BCN Sigma, you're going to have some dubious use for a dual color printer over the long term in terms of actually printing useful utility parts. Just my opinion. Monkey Man saying his printer came with a warped piece of glass. Wow. Wow. That is something else. If a factory can't get glass right, that's some quality control issues. That is pretty pathetic. So Technology Nerd is asking what are my temps at the moment. So I'm running the bed at 60 degrees. 60 degrees C, although I do have the zebra plate, which is quite thick, so the top's probably only about 50. And the extruder temperature is 215 degrees Celsius. That seems to work quite well. Cool. Yeah, I hope you guys are treating your mothers well for Mother's Day. I know I am, by doing a stream. No, we did something really nice yesterday, it was good. But she's like, yeah, you gotta do your stream, so go on. Thoughts on dissolvable filament for dual extruders? Again, classic Angus opinion, I think it's a waste of time. I've tried limonene to dissolve HIPs, high impact polystyrene, and ABS. What happens is the limonene leaves like a gunky, sticky residue all over your prints, and it has that really strong lemon orange smell, which is not too bad, but it just, the prints aren't nice afterwards, and also they tend to leach colors out of ABS prints. So if you have like a black ABS print in limonene, it will sort of leach the colors out. And PVA absorbs moisture from the air, so if you're printing with PVA, you need to keep the bag in a really well sealed container, otherwise the moisture just destroys it. It's a bit like nylon in that regard. So I have tried those two systems and they just never work for me. The only soluble support I've ever used that work is the Stratasys soluble support, which prints at something like 300 and something degrees C, and it's dissolved in heated up sodium hydroxide, which is awful. But it works really well with ABS prints. So that's my opinion on soluble support. So Baruch Torres, sorry dude, I cannot say that. Any thoughts on aluminium beds? I don't know if anyone prints directly onto aluminium. I did try once by accident and it didn't stick. So I would say you need a cover, like build tack or painter's tape or Kapton tape, something else on top. I wouldn't print directly onto aluminium. I don't think it'll work very well. Oh, Heather, happy Mother's Day. That's awesome that you're here. Yeah, shout out to all the mums, guys. They support you and it's Mother's Day, so hope you're doing something nice for them. Or if you're in America, it's Mother's Day tomorrow, so heads up. So what else? Thoughts on portable printers like the Bakito? I think the Bakito is a really cute little printer. I really like it. I might contact those guys soon to get one to review. There's a few others like the Me 3D, which is an Australian-made machine, very similar in design. I think they're great. I think they're an entry-level 3D printer that works well and seem to be pretty reliable. I wouldn't print anything except PLA on them, but yeah, I actually really, in terms of low-cost printers, the Fabricator Mini, Bakito, Me 3D, Printerbot Simple Metal, I don't know if they still sell it. I think they do. Those are all completely awesome little machines, and I would highly recommend if you can't afford bigger machines, get those. It's the kits I don't really approve of, the really cheap Chinese kits with no support, and the really cheap Chinese machines that come assembled, but then you need to do stuff to make them even print properly. That's what I don't like. It puts a bad name in the 3D printing space, and people are just drawn to them by the cost. KVT, yes, I am going to National Manufacturing Week. I will be on the 3D printing systems stand because I'm doing some work with them, but on the second day, afternoon or something, I'm going to be doing my own thing, where I'm going to be running around, checking out the exhibits and filming things. I'm also going to the Onshape talk. So the CEO of Onshape's coming to Sydney to the National Manufacturing Week, and I'm going to go see if I can just say hi. See how it goes. What else we got? CJ, oh, he's still here. Excellent. Yeah, I'm trying to get hold of a PEI sheet. That's just been my laziness actually. Heaps of you guys reached out to me and said you can help, so I do have one lined up. I've just been too busy to actually organize it. But that seems to be the new thing, the PEI print sheets, which is like a high temperature plastic and supposedly works really well. Andre is asking, how do I screen record? I'm using something called OBS Studio, which is open broadcaster software. It's completely free and it works pretty well, and you can record your screen, you can record yourself, you can record yourself playing games. It is pretty system intensive, so it doesn't work well on low-end computers, but that's what I'm using here. So Crafted102 is saying, ever tried any multicolor prints with one extruder? Yeah, I have actually. I will show you an example. Yep. Just dropped my Wi-Fi dongle, hope it doesn't cut out. So check this out, guys. This is a YouTube subscribe thing. Also YouTube shirt, I'll explain that in a little bit. But that's printed on one extruder on the up box in PLA, and you just change colors as you go. So white, black, red, end up with that. Really easy to do, and it works really well. But yeah, I got this YouTube shirt on Friday by going to a creators lab in Sydney at Google headquarters, and Google headquarters is absolutely insane. They've got like, I went to the reception and they're like, oh hello, would you like some water while you wait? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And they're like, okay, would you like some still sparkling or coconut? I'm like, oh, okay. Sparkling. Super fancy, and it was lots of fun, and I met heaps of people. So yeah, they're supposedly planning something very cool soon here in Sydney, because the YouTube scene in Sydney is still pretty small, but hopefully it's going to grow. Da-da-da. Huh. Yeah, Eric's saying, I'm still using a 6-year-old Athlon CPU and it runs GTA 5 fine on my 750 Ti. The 750 Ti is a super amazing graphics card for the money. I'm running one in my second system now. I got it secondhand. It doesn't even need any power connectors. It just runs off the PCIe, and it's amazing for the price. So if anyone can't afford a good graphics card, get the 750 Ti. It'll really help with Mesh Mixer and stuff as well. Cool. So, Bryce is saying there's no Google in Perth. Man, there's very little of anything in Perth. Unfortunately, that's why I moved. I just couldn't handle it. It's too remote. It's a fantastic place to live, but it's just for this kind of thing, it's just too far. I can't get next day deliveries. I can't get any of that there. Here, I can. Just to nerd out a bit about graphics cards, did any of you guys see the 1080 that Nvidia announced yesterday? Supposedly like more powerful than two 980s, 980 Ti's in SLI, and it, like the 1070 is more powerful than a Titan X. I might have to upgrade my graphics cards pretty soon. This computer's pretty crap. Yeah, it looks really cool. Sloan is asking, what layer resolution do I normally use? I am impatient. I do not like waiting for prints. I usually print at 250 micron, which is 0.25, which is 4 layers per millimeter, and it looks fine. Printing lower, you know, printing at 200, 150, 100, just, I do it sometimes, but it just takes so long, and I do not have the patience for it. Especially when I'm reviewing machines, I need to get stuff out. If I'm printing that detail, I would only print pretty small, because it just takes too long. Yeah, Smoky Dops. Yeah, they legit called the new Nvidia graphics card the 1080. It's pretty funny. So, what else we got? Sim Paradox asking, do I still like the IronScan S? Yeah, I do. To be honest, I don't really have a use for a 3D scanner hugely. I'm looking to get it out again for some reverse engineering videos where you get like an object, scan it, and then model onto it to add like features and sort of copy things. But I mean, 3D printers are a niche market. 3D scanners are like an even more niche market. So it sucks to say, but I haven't really touched it much since I reviewed it in a video, in the original video. I don't have a use for it. You know, if I want something, I'll model it. I don't really have much stuff to digitize, but I can see for niche markets where like you've got artifacts and things you want to 3D scan, then it's really handy, and it's all in one, like automatic turntable operation. It's a really good scanner for the price. Cool. Yeah, CJ wants my scanner. Sorry, it's mine. It's pretty handy sometimes. Owen's saying, is it me or is the print messed up? The print is not messed up. It's printing a vase, which is going in circles, like that. Yeah, fun. So KVT's asking, Angus, have I ever used any CNC mills or lathes? Yes, all the time. So when I studied industrial design at UTS, University of Technology in Sydney, we used basically the whole workshop. So I used wood lathes, metal lathes. I had a favourite metal lathe that was the Colchester Student 2500. I cannot remember. Amazing, like 400 or so swing. No one else knew how to use it. Gears to change speeds. Oh, beautiful. I miss that thing. I built many combat robots using it. And the mills were okay. They were big second-hand turret mills. Pretty huge backlash in the ways, but did the job. But yeah, I miss that stuff. I used to have a lathe myself, which you can see in my very early how to set up a compact workshop video. I had a lathe for a couple of years. I had to sell it when I went to Perth. Now I'm back, and now there's 3D printers in the way, so I can't get another one. But yeah, I love metal machining. It's awesome. There's something so satisfying about it. 3D printers are good, but if you can machine in metal, that's something else. Yeah, Lucas saying it's a nice background for your QA sessions. It's not something I actually thought about. I mean, this is my timer. It's like my sand timer. We'll finish up when it finishes. But I've already been going for an hour, so I'm not sure how much longer we can go. This is saying it's probably got another half an hour going on it, so we'll see how we go. I'll keep going for as long as you guys are entertained. How about that? Music for me here is asking, what do you recommend more, the Trinus or the Wanhao Duplicator i3? I've been asked that question I don't know what the comparison is. I mean, they're kind of the same price, but I don't know why they're compared to each other. They're different, completely different machines. The i3 has a bigger print volume. It has a heated bed. It's available now, and it can print, different materials and it can be modified easily. The Trinus is a fantastic deal, but it's a Kickstarter project that's just finished, and you're not going to be able to get hold of one for months. So if you back the Trinus, then I think you did a good job. I think the Trinus is a fantastic printer, but in terms of asking that question now, it's kind of irrelevant because you can't get the Trinus till they release it on the retail market. I could bring you back in, CJ, if you want. JJB is asking, have I finished assembling the Flexion Extruder? Yes, I have. It's currently printing a test print right now. It took about an hour of tinkering to get it done. but this stream will be uploaded when we're finished, and you'll be able to check it out. And no, I have not tried Fusion 360 yet. I will definitely review it. The guys over at Adafruit, Noel and Pedro, they do amazing tutorials on Fusion 360, and it looks really good. I haven't installed, I just haven't touched it yet. And I will, because as soon as I pick that up, I'll start featuring in videos, because apparently it's good for STL imports, so I've heard. If that's the case, then that's going to be amazing for converting game files into real cosplay objects for 3D printing, like the Super Sledge, which I'm planning to do. So I'm going to check it out, probably this week. Yeah, CJ, I saw that. Don't delete Kevin's messages, please. That's not on. That's really not on, dude. That's so slack. I probably won't bring anyone in this time because it's really hard to set up through Skype, but I do that every now and then during the week. We'll do something with Skype and I'll have one of you guys. I'll probably call it at 1:45 my time, which is in 10 minutes. So we'll keep going for 10 minutes. I'll kill this print so you can get a close look at it. Faith Blinded saying, if I make the Super Sledge, I should add some model rockets to it to take it to another level. I have so thought about doing that. I want to get a flare, but being in Sydney, it's like impossible. But I want to get something that's going out the back of it, and just like, boom, like that would just be phenomenal. Yeah, I want something that I can take to Supernova in Sydney in a few months. So if you're going to Supernova, look out for me. I'll probably have like a full Raider armor with Super Sledge. That's what I'm planning to do. Legendary Raider. Pacific Wagon, I am printing with eSun PLA. That's that stuff in pink. Oh, Neat Geek saying his Ninja Flex print was a success. Well done, dude. That is like initiation into a higher tier of 3D printingness, because printing flexible materials is nightmarish and it takes a lot of determination to get it working, so props. Well done. Evan Kennedy, what software do I use to get models out of game files for printing? I've done tons of tutorials on it. So basically, for Fallout, you use NifScope, which works really well to pull the NIF files out of Fallout. Same with Skyrim, you use NifScope. If you're pulling files out of Unreal Engine 3, then you use something like Milkshape to edit them. There's all sorts of different ways. Basically, each game engine has its own way of pulling files, but all you need is an OBJ. Once you can pull an OBJ or convert to that, then you can start printing it. Theme park attraction, favorite new movie. I've watched Jurassic World like 20 times, and there's a scene in it where like it's for like a split second where there's this girl with a balloon that's like a little brontosaurus with little legs walking along the ground, and like that's like my favorite scene in the whole movie. I was like, I want that balloon. That yeah, Jurassic World's awesome. I love Guardians of the Galaxy is fantastic, and Fifth Element I watch heaps as well. Those are my favorites. Astronaut is asking, is the Aldi 3D printer still available? No, it's not. The Aldi printer was a one-time only special, and it sold out almost instantaneously. There was a few around, and I don't know if the company's still planning to sell them. The company's called Win Plus. They brought them in and distributed them to Aldi, but it was one of the the special things Aldi does in Australia. And once they're done, and heaps of people jumped on it and got these machines for $500, and they're awesome. Yeah, and I've also played the Stanley Parable. That's pretty fun. Craft 102, any thoughts on Force Awakens? I enjoyed it. I'm not a massive Star Wars fan. I mean, you probably want to hit up like Joel, 3D printing nerd, to get like a more hardcore Star Wars fan. But I enjoyed it. It was good. I just don't tend to print stuff from that franchise because everyone else is doing it, and I feel it's already saturated. I want to print stuff that people haven't done, or design it myself. Theme park attraction asking any YOLO updates, and also someone else any OLO updates. I think they updated something talking about backer kit, so you could pay them more money for resin. That's the last I saw, and they just ignored everyone else's comments. And in terms of YOLO updates, no, not yet. Again, soon. I have such a backlog of work to do. It's insane. So I'm going to have to cut this off in about 7 minutes or so. Yeah, so there's... Evan says there's no Cocoon creates left, but they're same as the Wanhao i3. And there's also the new version of the Wanhao i3, which has a few things fixed. So you can definitely get that. Duplicate saying Firefly. I'm one of those people who loves the movie Serenity, but I loved the series, but the fact that it got cut off, I sort of lost interest. Yeah, I'm not really a good fan. Yeah, I like the movie, but I don't really like the the series. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're trying to guess my age. I'm not going to tell you because it's you're gonna have to guess it. I get carded all the time. I get asked for ID constantly, so that's a hint. What else? Yeah, you're pretty young, CJ. Oh, you're saying I'm 14? No, I'm not 14. I'm not going to answer any of those questions. Teddy is asking, how did I get the Flexion to work with the i3? It's designed to, dude. So the Flexion have an i3 kit, which is simply replacement blocks for the Mark 10 mounting holes. And I did it in an hour at the start of the stream. I assembled it all, and it works. It's great. So, okay, I'm going to kill the print because we're running out of time. I hate killing prints, but yeah, here we go. It's going to finish that line of G code and then die. There we go. And I'm going to turn it off. Pop the zebra plate off. There we go. You see that? That's a nice print. That is very clean. There we go. So that is the Flexion Extruder, guys. And I'm pretty impressed. So this is just eSun pink PLA. It's not flexible material. I just broke it because it's just a single wall, but that was my fault. But I will be testing out the Flexion with flexible materials and doing a full review. This is not the review of this. This is just showing you how I assemble it. And yeah, just to finish up, guys, I want to mention that yes, I have a Patreon, and it's completely optional to support this channel, but that's the only way I can afford this thing right here, which is 4G internet. For those who don't know, Australia's internet is below most third world countries. It's below Kazakhstan in terms of speeds, and I need to use 4G wireless internet to get the stream to you because my local area internet is 1 megabit per second upload speed limited. That's all I can get, so I cannot stream at 720p without using wireless internet. And I can only afford it thanks to all of you awesome guys on Patreon, so I just want to say thank you for that. Yeah, so anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this quite a long stream. We've almost been going for 2 hours. This long stream on fitting the Flexion Extruder. And yeah, I hope I answered most of your questions, and I'll see you again very shortly here on Makers Muse. Catch you later, guys. Bye.